If somebody gives me something and I say thank you, that is how I choose to appreciate the person. Now, someone else may give me something and I say thank you very much. Now, it's my expression of how I feel about the gift that the person has given me. Lastly, I want to say that some other persons may give me a gift and I say, I am grateful for what you've done. Okay? Now, so the choice of word, the choice of how I appreciate the person is my prerogative. It's my decision. If for any reason someone gives me something and then he or she comes to tell me how I should appreciate them, then that is insane, it's foolish, and it's shameful. Because you don't give people something and determine how they should thank you or determine what they will say to be grateful. Okay? It's very important we understand appreciation is left to whoever you have done something to. He or she appreciates you according to their ability and in the best way they know how to. You are not involved in telling them how to appreciate you. If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Dr. Abraham H. Gaga and this is Touching Lives 247. I want to talk today about the topic I entitled Determining Your Appreciation by Others. Yes, you coming into the picture of telling people how to appreciate you is the topic I want to discuss today. And I want to begin by some things that have happened in agencies, in the church, in the body of Christ. Now, I heard of a women's group before. When a leader have served and the leader's tenure is over, you appreciate the leader for the tenure, for the service they have rendered to God. Now, there is a practice that is very common. Many people, when the tenure is over, they tax people, they levy the members. They may say all women should contribute X amount because the leader is going. Let's appreciate her with this amount. Now, you don't tell people what to give. Appreciation comes from the heart of the giver. There is a denomination I will leave unmentioned. When a leader at certain level had finished her tenure and was leaving, the gifts they gathered, she came with a truck to pick it. Yes, because they task different churches, different fellowship groups to contribute to that send off. Yes. Now, no. Allow people to do it from the willingness of their heart. No wonder people are fighting to be leaders of women's group, of youth group, or of men's group because of the benefit of what they will leave. Fridges, television, cars, rappers, and you name it. A lot of things are pulled together and saying, oh, you have served the Lord. You did service to God. But here are these things, go back home with it. Please, brothers and sisters, if we continue on this trajectory, it's going to be erroneous and it's going to be a problem for the church because the scramble for leadership will overwhelm us. It's already overwhelming us. So let appreciation come from the people, not be forced on the people. People should do it because they want it and that is what they can afford. Very important. The next group I want to talk about are musicians, or sometimes called music ministers. A story will help us with this. Someone was invited, a musician was invited to a church. That church flew him, paid for his flight ticket. That church accommodated him for 3 to 4 days that he was in that city. That church fed him well with his group. And when they were leaving, the church showed appreciation with cash. And when he counted, he threw it back to them that it's too small. Wow, it's too small. So your service to God, what a church came to say, thank you for blessing our heart, is too small. It's a shame. Now, when you are determining what should be given to you as appreciation, it is insane, it is foolish, and it is shameful. Yes. So please, musicians, artists, performers, whatever it is your name is, try to understand when it comes to service to the Lord, you can only be appreciated, not paid. Not paid. And we need to be sensitive with this. In fact, there is a concert and a program that I was part of. I was there. The people that were even invited as guest ministers, the members of the band in the church sang better than them. Yes. If the church had organized it and only their church band members sang, it would have been more beautiful than the people they invited. So please, let's understand the place of music in God's kingdom and in worship and in fellowship, and not commercialize it and turn it into something different. We should be sensitive. The last people I want to talk about are preachers, pastors, evangelists, and church leaders that preach in several forums. Now, when a church invites a preacher, they appreciate him or her after preaching, and it's called honorarium. Okay, and it's good because you're blessing the man who have spoken or the woman who have spoken. Now, this is something that we need to take home. Some churches don't have a policy on this. So, because of that, if the preacher is known by the senior minister, whether the minister is the canon, the priest, the bishop, or the reverend, whoever it is that is the senior minister, if he knows the preacher, what usually happens is he forces the church to give the preacher more money, a lot of money, than when other preachers whom he doesn't know come. That's right. So sometimes it's like giving your friends opportunity and paying them for coming. Then they also invite you to theirs and they give you something. So it's we need to be sensitive about this. Churches should have policies. A person is coming from within the town, this is how much we will give. A person is coming from outside the town, this is how much we will give, whether you know him or not. A lot of crisis and challenge between pastors and their elders happens because of this disparity. That's right. It's something we need to be sensitive. Then I want to also share, because this thing is unfortunate, but it's happening among pastors and preachers. Some preachers, when they're invited to go and minister, will borrow a car. Yeah, their vehicle may just be a small Toyota, and then they have a friend who has a very good, classy, good car, and so they drive in it, so that what will be given to them at the end of the day will be different. Oh yes, we've seen it, we've heard it, and we know it. Why deceive yourself? Listen, God's work done in God's way receives God's provision. What you collect from church is not what pays for your ministry service. God meets your need according to his riches in glory when you serve in his kingdom. So it's not the meager thing that churches or fellowship groups give you that sponsors your ministry. Desist from it. In fact, even when a church appreciates you with something that cannot take you home, thank God and say, God, I thank you for this. I bless you and I appreciate what they've given, because I did this for kingdom, not for the funds. We must begin to address this. And may I say that it is also shameful, because some pastors, in fact, whenever they are called to preach elsewhere, they send their PAs or secretaries to negotiate what will be given. Oh yeah. Pastors negotiate what they will be given before they accept the invitation. If that is your practice, be ashamed. It's a shame, it's insane, and it's foolish. You don't determine what you should be appreciated with. Brothers and sisters, I pray and I hope that we will come to our senses as a church and walk in the direction that God will help and bless us. Freely you receive, freely give the gospel. I pray that God will help us. My name is still Dr. Abraham H. Gaga, and this is Touching Lives 247. Until I come your way again next time with another message to help us as a church be focused on kingdom business that will drive us forward in doing His will and His purpose. Do have a blessed day. Bye and thank you.